So, dear students, sorry for delay due to some technical issues. It has been stopped. So today, session 1 is on web penetration testing, and I will focus on these following tools: Nmap tool, Dirb tool, Gobuster tool, Unicast tool, Uniscan tool, and SQLMap tool. Here, Dirb tool, Gobuster tool, and Uniscan tool are mainly used to identify the vulnerabilities in the web application. And Nmap tool also helps to identify the services running on the system and the ports, status of the ports that are running on the system. And SQLMap is used to identify the loopholes in the backend database. So once the web application is developed, it is our duty to ensure that the web application is secure. To test the security of web application, there are nearly hundreds of tools are available in the market that are mostly paid and open source tools, which are provided by Kali Linux. More than hundreds of tools are there. But out of them, at least if you have knowledge on 10 to 20 tools, which will help you to test the security of the system. So first, coming to Nmap 2. Nmap 2 is used to discover the host system, whether the host system is active or not, and what are the ports running on the system. We can identify the ports running on the system. So once the ports are identified, we can, based on the ports, we can identify what services running on the system. Next, we can identify the web server. Can identify the web server. Can identify the web server running on the system. Running on the system. So that is using Nmap tool, we can identify this, or we can identify the status of the host. We can identify the ports running on the system. Can identify the web server running on the system. So here, so already said what are the activities on Nmap is network discovery, port scanning, service enumeration, penetration testing, and operating system fingerprinting. So now the security experts can identify the weaknesses in the network, can also identify the services that are running on the system, can identify the vulnerabilities in the network, can identify the weaknesses in the firewall. So firewall plays a very important role in the security, but the misconfiguration in the firewall can lead to can help the hackers to compromise the system. So now, before focusing on theory part, I want to focus on the practical part. So here, I have in virtual machine, I have two machines running One is Metasploit, and the one is the Kali Linux. Two missions are running. One is Kali Linux. One is Kali Linux. So here I have two missions. One is Metasploit and another one is the Kali Linux. So here, first thing is I want to find the IP address of the Kali Linux. So the IP address of the Kali Linux is 192.168.206.151. And coming to Metasploit, the IP address is so 130. So now here I'll connect to Metasploit in my where a Metasploit is a vulnerable mission where I have almost 5 web applications. So this is a Metasploit. I connected to Metasploit system. This Metasploit system is having 5 web applications. One is Wiki, PHP MyAdmin, Multi-Die, DBWA, and WebDay. So today we'll focus on DBWA website. DBWA website is one developed by UK, United Kingdom. So this is the most powerful website, most powerful website where we can test the vulnerability, where we can learn how to test the vulnerabilities in the web application. So here, this is a actually we are going to today's session. Almost most of the students have developed the web application, but it is your duty to test the security of the how secure your web applications. So yeah, DBWA is the most powerful web security application. So here this web application is developed in 3 modes: low mode, medium mode, and high mode. Low mode means where we can easily hack that web application. Medium means it is very little bit difficult to hack the web application. High means highly impossible to hack the system. So point is, while testing the web application, we cannot test on others' web application. It is a very big problem. So we need to test only on our web applications. We need to test only on our web application. So I'm testing on low one. So now I want to scan what are the ports running on Metasploit using Nmap. So using Nmap, so just by giving the command, so Nmap is a tool which is available in Kali Linux. So I'll give Nmap followed by the IP address of the Metasploit. IP address of the Metasploit is 192.168.206.130. I think 132. So now it is a most vulnerable website, and what we can observe is almost these are the ports that are open. So FTP port is open, secure shell port is open, simple mail transfer protocol port is open, HTTP protocol port is open. So these are the ports are open, and already most of your projects we are doing on PostgreSQL. Here in this Metas plot is also using PostgreSQL, so that port is also open. So that means, but once I scan a system, I can observe what services are running on this system. So we can easily detect that file transfer protocol service is running, secure shell is is there, telnet is there, simple mail transfer protocol is there, HTTP is there. So like that, I can test on Google also. Just on Google, Nmap, Google. Nmap, Google. So it is a live one, so it takes time. Sometimes it may work or it may not work because the Google firewall may block our request. Okay, it is taking time. Or I'll do fast scanning. I'll try fast scanning. Right. By using what are the ports open on Google? FTP, but simple mail transfer protocol was closed. HTTP port is open. Mail POP3 port is open. HTTPS port is also open. So we can test any web application, what ports are open. Again, I can test the operating system running on the system. So now, again, going back to the TD part, we can identify in Nmap. We can discover the host, discover the host. Next, discover the ports. Discover the ports. Next, you can discover the services. Discover the host, discover the ports, discover the services. So now, first I'll focus on discover the host. So to discover the host, that is whether the host is alive or not, using option SP. So for Google only, I'll check option SP. That is, first I'll discover whether that Google site is active or not. By general, yet this request was blocked. Or I'll use list scanning. Okay. Right. Now it shows option SL. So to find whether the status of the host, I'm finding the status of google.com. So the google.com IP address is 142.250.192.110. So like that, we can find whether that particular IP address of that system or not. A small example, I can also check who is google.com. I can get all the information about the Google. I can get the information of the Google, who is the server. So IP address, registered, mark, monitor, ink, the main contact email, the phone numbers, like that. So name server of the Google, etc. So this Nmap tool, so there are hundreds, almost huge number of tools are available where you can gather the information of the web. So if you can develop an app application that where Nmap tool cannot scan your web application, then your web application is a most secure web application. Next one, I want to scan the status of the ports. To scan the status of the port, I'll check on the Facebook. Just the status of the ports on the web application. Nmap option st facebook.com. So I'll find the status of ports on facebook.com. So it is taking time to scan. Right. So status of port. These are the ports that are open on the facebook.com. One is a FTP port is open, simple mail transport protocol is open, HTTP protocol is open, POP3 port is open, IMAP port is open, HTTPS port is open. That means we can easily identify that the web server is running on facebook.com. Next, already I said three things. We can discover the host. Now, just now I've given an example on Google, whether that Google is active or not. We got it. Now, discovering the ports we have seen on facebook.com. Now, we'll focus on discovering the services. So, what operating system is running on facebook.com? So, to identify the operating system, to know the operating system, option O. Oh, to find out. So it is asking to join. So user don't have permission to run this command. So root user can run this command. Sudo, I forgotten to give the command nmap. It is taking time to scan, detect what operating system running on facebook.com. So Nmap tool, we can do lot of miracles to identify the information of the system, to discover the information of the system. Three important points we can discover is discovering those, discovering the ports, discovering the services. Not only that, we can discover the status of firewall and status of the firewall on the system. Discover the status of the firewall. That is the weaknesses in the firewall. Can identify the weaknesses in the firewall. The weaknesses in the firewall. Can identify the weaknesses in the firewall. Right. Now we got it. Now I want to discover what operating system is running in Facebook. Now we found that Linux is running on the 90% of the systems running on Linux. So almost Linux is see, most of the dedicated servers running in the world is Linux. Linux is from last 30 years. Linux is the leader in the operating system. Remember it. So as a students, we see that you are perfect in Linux. Now we'll see what operating system is running in google.com. So almost I'm sure that Linux is will be the operating system that will run on Google also. So now just now we'll see it. So I'll use sudo nmap to know. I'll try fast scanning also. Google.com. So my intention is to identify what operating system running in Google.com. So not able to identify the operating system running on Google. So not just now we have identified the operating system. See, it depends. If the firewall is strong on that one, we cannot detect it. So if we are able to get the information, means that firewalls are not so much strong. But now we got what ports are running on what ports are open, and the IP address of Google, and etc. So next comes the another tool is there. Next we'll go to Dirb tool. Dirb tool is used to identify the hidden files. Hidden files or directories or pages on web application. Tool is identified. So Dirb tool is a brute force attack. Is a brute force attack on web application. On web applications. So here, when you host your web application, it is better to perform Nmap scanning and all these penetration testing tools. And if you can find, that is to identify the weaknesses. The main purpose is to identify the weaknesses in your web application. So if we can avoid any vulnerabilities in the web application, will be beneficial. Otherwise, your web application will not be in a safe zone. So why the weaknesses occur in the web application is The weaknesses in the web vulnerabilities, I write here the vulnerabilities in the vulnerabilities in the web applications is due to poor coding. Remember, vulnerabilities in web application is due to poor coding. Secure coding is needed. For any application. And penetration testing will help us help us to develop secure web application, which is very important for web developers. It can be a web application, it can be any application, but developing a secured application is very, very important. Nowadays, if observe the international status, the cyber crimes are increasing day by day. And as a developer, it is our duty to develop secured applications. So one way is we need to test, rigorous testing is needed on the application, and based on whenever we find all vulnerabilities, we need to rectify it. So that is one way of developing a secure coding. So there is no direct mechanisms for there is no direct mechanism to say this is a secured code and this is a very poor code. No, by doing only we can detect whether it is a poor coding or a secured coding. To practice only, while implementing only, we can decide which one is better and which one is worst by testing, by doing regressive testing. So now coming to Dirb2. Dirb2 also identifies any vulnerabilities in the web application. It is a brute force attack. So now in Kali Linux, what I have done is I have collected some dictionary words. So it is a brute force attack. So here, so this is completely Linux system where so I already created some dictionary words for some vulnerable web application. Okay. So vulnerable web is my file. Vulnerable web is my file used for where I inserted some dictionary words, and it is under grkrout folder. grkrout folder is under home folder. So now I want to find So these are the list of dictionary words available. These are the list of dictionary words available. To using Dirb tool, I want to identify whether any web pages, any files available in the web application related to these words. So now I'll use, we cannot test on any web application. We can test on any vulnerable web application. So one vulnerable web application is Dirb. No. HTTP. I'm testing on one vulnerable web application. Test PHP. Web.com. And these are dictionary words. So scanning started. Scanning started. So it did. Scanning started on 12 generated words. For time saving, already I stored the words, so we can detect. It is scanning. What are the pages available? So we can identify the sub pages related to the web application. So see, now I want to test on DBWA website, which is available in Metasploit mission. So now for this, so I will test on DBWA. I want to find what data is available on DBWA application. It is scanning. See, it is scanning. So it is scanning. What data is available? Status of the, I'm getting it. So like that, we can scan any web application using Dirb tool to detect any, to gather the information of the web application. And the important tool is that, which is Gobuster. Gobuster tool. Using Gobuster tool also, we can scan the web application. I'll try using Dirb. I'll try google.com. I'll try. It may get. I'll try google.com. So it is blocked. So okay, I'll give HTTP. Not Google. I'll try. What information I'll do. So I'm testing on google.com. So it is a big application. It takes so generating words on 4,612 words. So it is taking, it is scanning is done on google.com. So we'll wait. Before that, again I'll go back to Gobuster tool. So Gobuster tool is also like Dirb tool, which I can, which is alternative to Dirb tool. Gobuster tool is also used to identify the hidden files, directories, pages on web applications. So some tools provide some information, other tool provides another information. So information collected from different tools will have different types of information. Finally, we'll gather the information of the any system. So again, Gobuster tool is also used for brute force attack on web application. Gobuster tool is also used for brute force attack on web applications. So now coming back to the Kali Linux, I want to test this one. Scanning is going on. So you can find so we have some accounts / activities. So later you can try. So with this, I'm stopping this command because it takes time also. So I stopped it because it is at least it takes the half an hour to scan the Google, gather the information about google.com. So coming to Gobuster tool. Gobuster tool is also detects the vulnerabilities of the web application. So now I'll use Gobuster tool to detect the gather information about DVWA. Here I'll use Gobuster tool. Gobuster. Actually, I need to provide the word list, but I'll try without providing the word list. Yes, we need to provide a word list. So in Kali Linux, already word lists are provided. I'll show the word list. Cat user. Cat is a command where it displays the file. Cat user share word list. See, this already provided in Kali Linux. This is not my data /dub /common dot txt file. This common.txt file is already provided in Kali Linux, which is stored in dub directory. Dub directory is stored in word list directory. Word list directory is stored in shared directory. Shared directory is stored in user directory. So anyway, so these are the words already. These are the dictionary words. So this dictionary words are used to help to perform brute force attack. So if any word does matching, so it will retrieve that pages. So now I'll perform brute force attack on here. I'll provide word list also is needed. /user /shared word list /dub /common.txt. I'll try. Thanks. It is scanning. See the information, how much information it is getting about the file. It giving the status code of the web pages 200 302. So we can find what are the files available. Sometimes login, logout file. Like so now Same thing I'll try to test on another website, online website that is testphpvulnerableweb.com. testphp.vulnerableweb.com. It is scanning on performing brute force attack on nearly 4,615 words are there. It is scanning. So like this, you can give your own web application. You can test on the Gobuster tool. So you can observe how the scanning is going on. Gobuster tool we have used. See, Dirb tool we got very less information, but Gobuster tool we are getting lot of information. We are able to scan. We were able to return a lot of information of the web. See, if your web application is also scanning like this, means your web application is also vulnerable, and it is your duty to prevent your web application from scanning from Gobuster tool or Dirb tools or any other tool. So you should have awareness on all these web on all these penetration testing tools. It is your duty. You need to learn the tools and you need to learn how to implement on your web application, and you need to defend from it, so that you will be in a position to write a secured coding. See, the scanning is going on. It's taking time also. Gobuster tool is the most open source and help you to gather lot of information. So 77% is going scanning. But don't test on others' web application. Test it on your web application or install Kali Linux. There is a Metasploit tool is there where there are 6 web applications are there. You test on them. Don't test on other web applications. You learn how to test. And there are a lot of online web application tools are there where you can test on it, or you can use Box, Try Acme. Lot of online platforms are there where we can learn, do lot of miracles related to penetration test. Lot of ways are there. So here, see what are the files we got. We can observe the. We can see where complete picture of the website. So this is the most powerful scanning one where you got this information. So In Gobuster tool, different operation you can perform. Different operations can be performed on the Gobuster tool. Different operation can be performed using Gobuster tool. What is one is ID status. ID status. One is ID status. Another one is verbose mode. Verbose mode. Another one is disable banner. Disable banner. And a very important one is another one is to obtain subdomains. To obtain subdomains. Subdomains of the web application. Of the web application. Of the web application. To obtain subdomains of the web application. So yeah, today now this is very important. I'll try to obtain the subdomains of the web application. I will try to obtain the subdomains of the web application. So yet same one, but here I will use option M DNS. Option M DNS. DNS. I'll try. On live vulnerable website. Yes, I'll try. Option I. So, or I'll try on option M DNS to obtain the subdomains. So, or again we will focus on verbose mode. So DNS is not able to, we're not able to get it. We'll try verbose mode. So deep scan. Verbose mode is one is deep scan. Just so we'll get the status codes. So anyway, verbose mode is a deep scan. So this is about the Gobuster tool. Gobuster and Dirb tool are used to identify the data available on the web application. Another alternative tool is the Uniscan. 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 Uniscan tools. Uniscan tool. So Uniscan tool also is used to obtain Uniscan tool is used to obtain server fingerprinting. Server fingerprinting. So the one is used to obtain server fingerprinting. Second one, obtain web service. Used to obtain web service. Next, discover the directories in the website. Discover the directories on the website. Can perform dynamic test on web application. So these are the some steps which can be performed using Uniscan tool. So we'll try to use the Uniscan tool. Uniscan, option U. Test PHP. vulnerable.web.com. Sorry, spelling mistake. Uniscan. So I need to use sudo as a root user. Like scanning is going on. Actually, if you observe, nothing is scanned. See, through tool, scanning may done or may not be done, but we'll try with the same tool. We'll try to get the information. So server fingerprinting is done, is not done. So next I'll try for web services using Uniscanner. So here for Uniscan to obtain fingerprint, I need to give option J. So I need to first I need to give sudo. Sudo means root user. Right. Scanning is going on. You can observe here. It is what it get giving. Complete ping information we are getting. Ping information we are getting. Next you are getting the domain name and what server is running on this web application. What server is running on this web application. We got the information. Next, it is trying to get the trace route. It is going on. Ping also we got it. Like DNS information we are getting, NS lookup information we got it. So if you observe the previous compare with Gobuster tool, Dirb tool, it's providing other different types of information we are getting it. So just within 1 hour we have tested on, we have used Dirb. We got some information of the web application. Gobuster, some other information, and with this one Uniscan, we are getting other NS lookup information, which NS lookup information we are getting. Next, trace route we are getting. Trace route, next ping information, and the server running on the that particular application. This server is run by NGINX web server. So it is going on. Let us wait for 2 minutes. If otherwise, I'll break this command. Later we can do it. So it takes time because it is not in our hands. It is scanning the application. Okay, I'll stop with this one. Now again, it will be time waste. Next, I want to obtain the web services. Same command here, web services. Option G. I'll try what it gets. So web service, not able to get it. Web services, already we got it. Web services, we know it. A web service uses NGINX. Option G. Next one is to discover the directories in the discover the directories. For discover the directories, Dirb and Gobuster tools are the best tools. But anyway, using these two also we'll try. All right, directories also we are getting it. So what I observed is Uniscan is better than Gobuster and it is scanning. Testing is done on 4,401 words. But it is a time consuming. It is testing. So it is tested around 4,400 words. Only 2 links it can be able to identify. It is a brute force attack. Remember, it is a brute force attack. So we find what are the links. One is // and the one is admin. 2 links. It is still on searching. Almost it has searched for on nearly 4,300 words. Anyway, with this again I'll close it. We can continue. So now dynamic testing, option D, dynamic testing. It is also going on. dynamic testing. So it has I observed the vulnerabilities. See, lot of vulnerabilities are there. Dynamic, you find this web application is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. This web application is vulnerable to SQL injection and remote file include, right? Next, local file include blind SQL injection. So the lot of web vulnerabilities are there in in this web application. Cross-site scripting is there. SQL injection, it is vulnerable to SQL injection. Cross-site scripting. So now what I can conclude is, compared with Dirb, Gobuster, you can gather more information, more vulnerabilities, or using Uniscan. So remember, Uniscan is better than Dirb and Gobuster. So till now we have discussed about Nmap tool. Next, we discussed about Dirb, Gobuster, and Uniscan. These three tools are used. For purely for web application. These three tools are used to test. These three tools are used to test the vulnerabilities in the web application. Vulnerabilities in the web application. In the web application. So after learner turn, let us focus on Dirb, Gobuster tool, and Uniscan. There are a lot of tools are there. Nearly hundreds of tools are there. So at least you focus on these tools. But now, after observing the Dirb, Gobuster tool, Uniscan, we are able to gather more information. Uniscan. So each tool have its own importance, but when during this class, which I observed, this Uniscan is more better. We are able to get more information from Uniscan. So now another tool we'll discuss on SQLMap. SQLMap. SQLMap tool. SQLMap tool. SQLMap tool. So SQLMap tool is used to detect the vulnerabilities on the database servers. SQL2 SQLMap tool is used to detect to identify vulnerabilities on the database servers. So identifying the loopholes in the database. the loopholes in the database which is associated with the application, with the web application. So identifying the loopholes in the database which is associated with the web application. So one is SQL. So what is SQLMap? SQLMap is used to identify the vulnerabilities on the database. So here it is most dangerous. It is most dangerous for the web application if there is a loopholes in the database. So need to identify, is there any loopholes in the database? One is to test the with help of SQL. So now I will. So now just I will open the website of one website. I'll give test. Okay, test PHP. This is one website. This one website. So now I came to. So here whenever you observe in the web page, there may be a particular web page which may be connected to a particular page may be connected to that is a particular web page. Particular web page may be connected to the database. Particular web page may be connected to the database. So need to identify the vulnerabilities in the database. Identify the vulnerability in the database. The vulnerabilities in the database. The particular web page may be connected to the database. So need to identify the vulnerabilities in the database. So now generally the website with /list products.php. So this website may be connected to the this web link. This web page may be connected to the database. May be connected to the database. Because list products means it may contain details of the list. So when it contains the list, details of the list means database it may be connected to the database. So I need to test it. Is it true or not? So to test it, whether it is true or not, using SQLMap. So all testing is done in Kali Linux. Kali Linux is the most powerful testing tool in the present scenario. Now using SQLMap tool, option U, I'll give the URL. Here first I need to category 1. Category 1. So it is scanning. It is scanning. Yes. Yes. So these are the ways to test your web application. Testing is going on. So here my agenda is for SQLMap. First one is need to identify database. Once database, need to identify the database. Or all right, need to identify the database. Once database is identified, need to identify the table, because table will be stored in the database table. Once table is identified, need to identify the columns. Once columns are identified, need to identify the data. This is the scenario. First, I need to identify the database. Once database is identified, need to identify the tables. After table, columns. After the columns, data. Why? Because it is linked. Tables are stored in the database, and table contains columns. Columns contains data. So this is the scenario we need to identify. First, I need to identify the database. Next, tables. Next, columns. Next, data. So these are the scenarios. Okay, scanning that. First, I need to identify the database. Option B, B, yes. First, I need to identify the database. Right. I have observed that in the database, I observed that two databases are available database. You can observe here. Available database. Two databases are available. Accrued and information schema. Two databases are available. Accrued and information schema. So now I will, using accrued database, I need to identify the tables available in the accrued database. So for this one, already database is discovered. Already database is discovered. So once the database is discovered, the database name is accurate. From that accurate, I need to add, from that database, I need to identify the tables. I need to identify the tables. I'm trying to identify the tables. It is scanning. See, I'm scanning the live system. So it is taking time to scan. Scanning is going on. So it is searching for a tables available in the database, but taking a lot of time also. Okay, I'll stop again and try it. it is taking time. Anyway, it is taking time, but I know the table available here is one of the table available is users. So I'll test on users because it takes time and it is. So already in that database, one of the table is users. I'll discard the columns available on that table. Here also taking time. Oh. But now it is unable to connect that website, but we'll try. Okay, last option. I'll directly I'll try to get the values. So from option C, there are 3 columns are already available: email, name, password. Now, just I'll try to get email only. So at present, this site there is some problem, not able to get it. So one way, SQLMap tool, with help of SQLMap tool, we can discover the database. From the database, you can discover the tables. From the tables, you can discover the columns. From the columns, you can discover the data. So last, we'll see what validating the fields. So going back to DBWA website. So one is cross-site scripting is there. Cross-site scripting. So here we need, yes, actually we need to enter the name. Suppose if I enter the name Venkat. Hello Venkat, I'm getting. But if I enter the script, so here in the name field, if I enter a script, for example, if I enter a script, instead of name, if I enter a script, for example, script, this one, alert, message, I'll not enter, just I'll write testing test. Just I'll write a message only test /script /script. So this is a JavaScript. So this is a JavaScript. This is a JavaScript. If JavaScript is given, if JavaScript is given in name field, it should not execute. It should not execute, which leads to cross-site scripting attack. Cross-site scripting attack. Cross-site scripting attack. So now, if I enter this one in name field, okay, I'll enter this one. If I execute it, I'll enter just script. First, I'll check the security level. Oh, it is in high level. It should be in low level. Submit. Execute. Now see, here it is executed. It should not happen. It should not happen. If it is happening means it is a cross-site scripting attack. It is a cross-site scripting attack. So here, next one. Here I use DVWS security level I. Security level I. Okay. Now same thing if I implement. Same thing if I implement script 1. Now it is not cross-site scripting attack. But if it is executed, then it is a cross-site scripting attack. Again, I'm going back. Again, I'll use security level low. So this is the most popular website which we can do learn how to test the web application. It is free and you can do anything. Nothing will happen. So now again I'm going back. Here if I execute the script, so again that is cross-site scripting. Then what happens? If this is the case, from cross-site scripting attack, we can steal cooking information. One is from process we can steal cookie information. Steal cookie information. So how we can steal cookie information is by sending the information like this. Like this. Script alert document dot cookie /script, which steals the cookie information. For example, again here I'll test it. if I run this. Yes, this is the cookie information which I am getting. So this is a cross-site scripting attack. This is a cross-site scripting attack. With this, I'm stopping, and second session will be on how to deploy our project on AWS. Sunita Madam will continue the next session. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you. my connected to the
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Hello. Audio not. Hello. Hello. Good morning, everyone. As a part of the second session, today we are going to discuss how to deploy Django project in AWS Cloud. Myself, this is Dr. Sunita, Associate Professor, PAC Honors. So in this session, we are going to discuss how to deploy Django project in AWS Cloud. First of all, I will show you my project. This is my Django project name. This project, I'm going to deploy AWS Cloud. So this project having database connectivity. So when I open the project, when I click on the login, if I log in as a user, it redirecting to the user page. User page contains some modules like that. And if I log in as administrator, it redirecting to the admin page. So this is a simple Django project. It having the database connectivity. Now I'm going to deploy this project into the AWS cloud. Yes, this is the project we are going to deploy in AWS cloud. To do this experiment, first of all, what are the pre-requirements? So before doing the project, first of all, we should have the GitHub account. Second one, you should install Git software in your system. Third one, you should have AWS account. Okay. Before going to this experiment, we need to maintain one GitHub account and you need to install Git software in your system. Then after, you should have one AWS account. So as a part of the As a part of the pre-requirement, first how to configure. We are going to learn how to configure GitHub account into your local system. So before going to do our experiment, first of all, we need to create one GitHub account. Then after that, you need to install Git software in your local system. As a next one, we should maintain the AWS account. First, go to the internet, open GitHub account. This is my GitHub account. First, create GitHub account. Then after that, install Git software. Download Git software. We are using Linux or Windows as per your operating system. Download software and install Git software in your local system. Then after that, configure GitHub account to your local system. For that purpose, after installing the Git software, open command prompt. Now check your Git version. Now my system having the Git version. Now for configuration purpose, what we need to do? We need to type two commands. The next one we need to type two commands. You need to set username. My username is, this is my username. And after, we need to set our email. Whatever email you created, you use it to create your GitHub account. So these are the two variables we need to configure in our local system. So open your command prompt. This is my command prompt. Check your Git version is available or not. Then after, take the first command, username, set username. You can copy your username from this GitHub. When you click on your profile, it will display your username and your mail ID. Now copy this one. Username successfully configured. Next command. Go to the next command. Next one is email address. Now email address successfully configured. Now your system is ready to push your project into GitHub. So now what we did now? We created GitHub account. We installed Git software into your local system. We configured Git account in your local system. Now your system is ready to upload your project. For next one, so deployment of deployment of Django project. So to deploy your Django project, you can choose two ways. First one, static deployment. Second one, dynamic deployment. So static deployment in the sense, for example, if you deployed your project, if it's continuously working without connection of your local system, then it is called as a static deployment. In the static deployment, once we will deploy the application, it will continuously work after your system shutdown also. Then it is called as a static deployment. For example, if you deploy your application into the Python anywhere, pythonanywhere.com, this is called as a static deployment. So once you deploy your application, that URL will work continuously until you delete that URL. Okay. So next one, dynamic deployment. The dynamic deployment, you can choose any cloud. So in this session, we are going to discuss AWS cloud. You can choose any cloud to deploy your project. So here, why we are calling dynamic deployment in the sense, when you deploy your, after deployment of your application, if you terminated your virtual machine, then your deployment also automatically turn off. So for that purpose, you need to use any streaming software. Some, for example, like Nginx, these are few streaming applications you need to use to provide continuously for your URL. Otherwise, if you terminated your virtual machine, if you have terminated your database, this automatically turn off. Then it is called as a dynamic deployment. Now, so here, now we are going to discuss dynamic deployment. In this session, we are going to concentrate on dynamic deployment. In this dynamic deployment, we already discussed what are the pre-requirements: GitHub account, Git, and AWS account. So before doing the deployment, for example, Django project. This Django project contains, it's a combination of UI, UX design plus database. Right. This is whatever your Django project, it is a combination of UI, UX design and database. Here, UI, UX design, we called it as a front end or front end technology and back end technology. We already know the full stack application contains front end, back end, and database. It's a three-tier architecture. In the front end, we will design the interface. By using the back end, we will design the business logic, and the database we will use in the project. Here, UI UX design contains the front end and back end designing at the same time along with the database connectivity. Now here, for example, in your local system, see here, this is my project. In my project contains a local system database connectivity. So right, this is my project, this local system database. If I deployed this project into the AWS cloud, what will happen? It won't work. Why? Because the database connectivity is related to the my local system, but the application deployed into the AWS cloud, so it won't work. That's the reason we need to take the any online database server. So when coming to the AWS, so here AWS providing database services. So in the Django project, in our Django project, for UI UX deployment purpose, we are going to use EC2 instance and database connection and database software purpose, we are going to use RDS server. So RDS server. Here UI UX deployment purpose, we are using EC2 instance, and at the same time database usage purpose for RDS server we are going to use. Now step by step procedure we are going to discuss. Steps to deploy Django project in AWS. Now here we already discussed there are two services we are using to deploy our project. One is the EC2 instance, second one is the RDS server. First of all, for this purpose, first step as a part of the step one, create RDS servers. Create RDS server in AWS. And at the same time, note down following points. So these points, whatever these points, we need to update in our project. So first one, endpoint. Second one, username. Password. Username, password, and the database name. And port number. These are the points we should note down after creating the RDS server. Now here, so in my project, I'm using PostgreSQL. That's the reason I'm going to create a PostgreSQL server in AWS Cloud. So go to the AWS account. So this is my AWS account. Go to the AWS account and go to the RDS dashboard. Go to RDS dashboard. Create one RDS server. So I have already one server. I will delete first of all. While creating the RDS server, you should be careful. Why? Because a database service is a very, very costly service in any cloud. Why? Because data is very precious. That is the reason while filling this RDS server configuration form, you should be careful. Otherwise, you will get uh, more bill. So in this dashboard, go to the AWS RDS dashboard, click on create database. So in this configuration form, we need to fill first under the choose the database creation, click on standard create, and next one engine type. You should select PostgreSQL. So in our project, we are using PostgreSQL, right? That is the reason. So we are selecting PostgreSQL. Next one, mm, okay, PostgreSQL. Next one, under template. Here you should careful. So production and dev test, these two are not a free services. You should select free tier. You should check whether this template is free tier template or not. You should select free tier. Then after under the settings, these settings related to the PostgreSQL, not a server. These settings related to the PostgreSQL. Now here my PostgreSQL username is Postgres. This is username Postgres. Now password is I'm going to create my password is here we need to select at least 8 character, right? I'm going to create admin 2 times admin I am typing. So admin my password is admin and scroll down under connectivity connectivity. This connectivity is nothing but it's a plays very important role. Here under connectivity, why we need to use this connectivity? Here this connectivity is used for the here to connect your RDS server. To connect your RDS server in the sense in AWS, if you want to connect to the AWS, we need to use the internet. In the internet, every connectivity related to the protocol, right? So this RDS server also. If you want to connect this RDS server, we need to use the protocol. So here for RDS server purpose, which protocol we need to use? Here, which protocol we need to use? RDS server. To create a RDS server, here we need to use PostgreSQL protocol. PostgreSQL protocol. This protocol we need to use for the connection purpose. It's a mandatory. Here, when you creating the RDS server, we need to select PostgreSQL is the connection protocol. Then only it will connect to our project. Now go to the AWS account. Here, now you get for my application purpose, I am allowing public access. Otherwise, no, it's not mandatory. So I'm giving public access to here. And at the same time, VPC security group. This VPC security group is especially for the connection protocol setting. In this security group is used to identify coming to the RDS, those who are leaving to the RDS. Now here the connecting protocol is here we discuss. What is the connecting protocol? PostgreSQL protocol we need to select. Now here come to this one. We don't have any existing security group. We don't have any security group. That's the reason I'm going to create one new. Okay, click on create new. Here security group name my Django application RDS. My DJ RDS. Here my security group name is my DJ RDS. Now here that's it. One more important thing in this configuration form, here we need to set the database name. This is the database name, right? So for example, if you create a PostgreSQL server without a database name, it's creating. That's the reason here under the additional configuration, we need to give the database name. What database name? This is the travel, right? The travel database name we need to mention here. The travel database name we need to mention here. This is the database name. Now these are the configuration settings under RDS server creation. Again, I will repeat it. In this configuration form, create the standard create. Engine type is PostgreSQL and the template is created. Next one under the settings, set the password. My password is admin. And here scroll down. Under the connectivity, give the public access users. It's not mandatory. And security groups. For the connection of your RDS server, we need to use the create new. Now under create new, this is the my security group name. That's it. Finally, under the additional group, here additional configuration database name is travel. Okay, now click on create database. It created a database. It takes 2 minutes of time, 2 to 5 minutes of time. So instead of wasting time, we'll go with another thing. Now here, now second part, we'll come back here. It's a loading. Okay. Security group. When you creating the RDS server, security group protocol is PostgreSQL protocol. This is the point you should remember. This protocol, when you are working in the AWS, networking knowledge is very important. Which service uses for which protocol we should identify. So this PostgreSQL uses to connect PostgreSQL server. Now, second point, step 2, check this RDS server working or not. We created, right? How to check this RDS server working or not? It's connecting or not? It's able to connect our local system or not? So here, by using the pgadmin, with the help of pgadmin, we are going to test. Okay, now check your RDS server are properly working or not. This is the second step. Now here it takes a time. Just still creating. When you created RDS server, we can see the endpoint. Now next, move to the third step. It takes a 2 minutes of time. We'll come back. Step 3. Create EC2 instance. So actually it is the step 4. We'll discuss step 3 again. Create EC2 instance. While creating the security EC2 instance, what are the security group protocols? Here also we need to mention the security group protocols. So here, what are the security group protocols in the thing? We are going to use Linux server. Why we need to use the Linux server in the sense? Here, Python application is very suitable for the Linux server. So if you are using Windows server, then what we need to configure something. So that is the reason Python server is Linux server is very suitable. Here I am going to use EC2 Linux instance. I am going to create EC2 Linux instance. That is the reason. Here, what are the protocols we need to mention? SSH. SSH is for developer purpose. Developer purpose. So here developer connection purpose. As a developer, I want to connect my Linux protocol, Linux system. Then I will deploy, I will modify, I will do keep on working in my RDS, I will EC2 instance. Next one, HTTP protocol. These HTTP protocol actually, especially for the customer purpose. After deploying your application, we will do that URL, the domain name to user. That means kluniversity.in. That means HTTP www.kluniversity.in. So this HTTP protocol for the user connection purpose. User connection like end user connection purpose. Like next one more HTTPS protocol also we need to use. If your application is a global, if your application having security certificate, then we will use HTTPS protocol. 2 more protocols we need to use here. One protocol is PostgreSQL protocol. Why we need to use PostgreSQL protocol here? This PostgreSQL protocol is used to connect your EC2 instance to the RDS connection. Right? For example, in whatever we are going to deploy in EC2 instance, that project should connect to the RDS server, right? That is the reason we need to give this PostgreSQL protocol for database connection purpose. Database connection purpose. Next one, finally, we need to use 8000 port, custom port number. Custom TCP. Why this we need to use this custom TCP uses 8000. This protocol, whatever this custom TCP, TCP protocol used to run the Django project. Okay, right? It's visible to the customer. To run your Django project and particular port number, we need to use this custom TCP protocol. This custom TCP protocol uses 8000 port number. So these are the protocols we need to use while creating the EC2 instance. I hope RDS server created from here. So now RDS server is available. So in this RDS server, click on the RDS server. What are the points we need to note down here? First one is the endpoint. Here endpoint we need to note down. Now this is the endpoint, right? All of you copy this endpoint. Next one, username is Postgres and password is admin. Database name is travel and port number is, what is the port number here? 5432. Port number is 5432. This is the port number. These are the points we should note down from the RDS server. Next one, what is the next point? We should check the RDS server. This RDS server working properly or not. Now I'm going to connect my PG admin. I'm going to connect that RDS server into my PG admin. So if it is connected, your RDS server working properly. If it is not connected, then we need to rectify these errors. So now here, one more thing, ma'am. Here before doing this one, first of all, go to the security group. This RDS server. In this RDS server security group, check instead of custom TCP, open the security group. Here it is the inbound rule. In this inbound rule, only this IP address only can able to access the RDS server. So that's the reason I will do anywhere IP report. I will update anywhere IP report. Any system can connect this particular RDS server. But actually, this is not a good practice. If when you are creating RDS, your IP address should be here. This example purpose I am editing here RDS server in the RDS dashboard. The RDS dashboard. Here we are going to connect this RDS server into our PG admin. This is my PG admin. Now okay, in my PG admin, I'm going to add online server into my local system. Now for that purpose, what I need this endpoint is this endpoint needed. I will copy this endpoint. Now go to the PG admin, right click on the server, register server. Now here give the name my RDS. Okay, any name, you can give any name. Connection here as in the host name, we need to give this URL, this endpoint. Then password is admin. Now click on save. Here it will connect it. See here, it having travel database. We created one RDS online RDS database, PostgreSQL database server successfully. Now next thing, next third step. Next one, step 2 completed. Step 3. Step 3 as a part of the step 3, what we need to do here as a part of the step 3, update RDS server database details in your Django project. In your Django project, you should update your this database details. Whatever database details are there, online server, database server details in your Django project. Now here, come to our project. Now this is the database name is travel. Username is Postgres. Password is admin. Password is admin. Host here. This is the host. This host we should give this endpoint. Copy this endpoint and give the host. Now this is the host port number. You enter online database server details in your local system. In your project. Now save your project. Save your project. Now these are the details for AWS RDS server. Now here is in the Django project. Now next step 4. Step 4, what we need to do, upload push your upload Django project to GitHub account. Upload your Django project to the GitHub account. Now see here, we already installed Git in your local system. We configured GitHub account in your system, right? Now what we need to upload. We updated database details, right? We updated database details and upload your project into the GitHub. GitHub or S3 bucket, any versioning control you can take. So GitHub or any S3 also one of the versioning control whatever module. Then we can take the S3 bucket also, and we can use the GitHub also. Now we are going to discuss with the GitHub. Now first of all, upload your project into GitHub. Before uploading, before push this project into your GitHub, first of all, we need to do what we need to do. This is very, very important. Here in this allowed host, we need to mention star. Everyone should remember. Here you need to mention star. Otherwise, what will happen here? You upload your project, you run your project, but it's not visible in the browser. Why? Because the allowed host should be the local host. In your local system only it will work. Otherwise it won't work. That's the reason we need to give all kind of hosts for the allowed host. In your allowed host, we need to mention star, means anywhere. If you deployed your project anywhere, it will work. Then that's the meaning of allowed host. No, you need to update allowed host to star. Here star, for then upload your project. Now here upload on to first change allowed in the settings.py. Settings.py. In the settings.py lo allowed host. Mention allowed host. Start. So update your settings.py. Allowed host equal to here. Allowed host equal to all caps. Start. Allowed host into star. Then after push your project into GitHub. So now to push GitHub project into GitHub, you no need to redirect any path You can upload, you can push your project, you can push your project directly from your PyCharm editor. Here, first of all, to upload your project, whatever your project into GitHub. So see here, this is your project location. In this project location, first step, follow first. Okay. First of all, we need to create one repository in GitHub. Create repository in GitHub. So we should create repository in the GitHub. Here, project name equal to repository name. Project name should be, a project name and repository name should be same. Now go to your GitHub. Go to your GitHub and click on your profile. So click on your repositories. I have only one repository. Now I'm going to create one more repository here. Top right corner, you can say click on plus, click on create repository. My project name is, what is my project name here? Travel management. Now create a project repository, the travel management. Now travel management, allow the public access. Then click on create repository. When you click on the create repository, there are few, you can see there are few commands to push your project into GitHub. So note down this commands as it is. Note down this commands. First one is a git init, and here git add dot. Next one. These are the commands we need to use to push our project into GitHub. Now, if you want to check the status in middle, git status. How many files are uploading into the Git? If you want to see the details, you can use the Git init. So these are the command as which you can follow. Here remote add origin here. This is your GitHub URL. Then in this URL we are pushing our project. Now copy these commands one by one and execute here. Here first step git init. And now whatever command terminal redirecting into the Git. Next one git add. Next, if you want to check how many files are updating. So here it will display list of files, right? These are the list of files uploading into Git. Now you can mention commit statement. Next, finally, main branch, create a main branch. One by one, all these commands execute, your application automatically push into GitHub. Now it's already exists. Finally, push your project into GitHub. Now my project is uploading into GitHub. Now open your GitHub. Step uploading completed. Now open your GitHub, refresh this page, and we can see entire project. My project is uploaded into GitHub. My project name is Travel Management. Now this is the link for my project. I will take this link. I will download anywhere. In my local system, I will download. In virtual machine, I will download anywhere. Now my project is available in GitHub in the form of URL. Now finally, last step. What is the last step here? Create a EC2 instance and deploy. Create a EC2 instance with the following port. I already told you we need to add the security group. SSH is the developer connection. HTTP is the end user. HTTPS also end user. PostgreSQL for database connection. Custom TCP 8000 for to run your Django project. These are the protocols we need to add while creating the EC2 instance. Now go to the AWS dashboard. Now database, okay, this dashboard over. Now close this one. And next go to the EC2 dashboard. Go to the EC2 dashboard. We create one Linux instance. Now I hope all of you know how to create a Linux instance. Click on launch instance. In this configuration form, we need to fill Linux instance details. Now first one, give the name my web server. You can go with your own name. This is my server. Next one, you should select Linux operating system. Why? Because Python is suitable for Linux operating system. Now take a Linux operating system. Next one, instance type is C2 micro. It should be the free tier. You should check whether this one is a free tier or not. And next one, select any keeper. If you have a keeper, then take a keeper. Otherwise, you click on create new keeper. It will display like this. Now, next one, under the network settings, already I told you under what are the protocols we need to select: SSH, HTTP, HTTPS, PostgreSQL, and custom TCP. These are the protocols we need to add. Now here in this configuration form, there is only 3 provisions. We know now at present we don't need to disturb here. We will update later. So here there is a possibility 3 protocol selection only. Now take SSH, HTTPS, and HTTP. These protocols. That's it. So now here again I am repeating. Server, give the any name and Linux operating system. Check whether it is a free tier or not. Use the keeper under the network settings. Now click on create security group. Here now here SSH, HTTP, HTTP. These protocols we need to add. Click on launch instance. It creates an EC2 instance. It takes hardly 1 minute of time. It takes much time. It won't take much time. Now your system, you uploaded your project into GitHub. Your RDS server updated in your project, and server also Linux instance also created. It takes 5 minutes of time to upload to deploy your project into EC2 instance. Now here we already updated 3 protocols, right? We need to add 2 more protocols. One is the PostgreSQL, second one is the custom TCP. That's the reason open your EC2 instance. This is your EC2 instance. Click on your EC2 instance. Under security tab, go to the security tab. This is the security tab. Now security groups. Now click on security groups. Open your security groups and click on edit inbound rules. Click on edit inbound rules. Here we need to add 2 more rules: SSH, HTTP, HTTPS. 2 more rules. One is the PostgreSQL and anywhere IPv4. And next one is custom TCP and 8000 port. I will tell you why we need to use 8000 port. So these are the 5 protocols. Save the rules. Now your EC2 instance also ready for the deployment purpose. Now go to the EC2 instance and click on connect. Click on connect. So for when you connect the Linux instance, there are 4 options are there. So first go with the first step, first connection. It should be available in the form of terminal only. It should be available in the form of terminal only. Why? Because this Linux available terminal. Windows, if you want Windows, you can see how your Windows server operating system. Similarly, we can see Windows, but here Linux is available in the form of terminal only. Now here Here, create EC2 instance, and next one, connect EC2. Next step here. Now, after connecting, we need to use everything in the form of commands only. Here, first of all, this is command prompt. Here, see here, when I connect to the EC2 instance, it shows the dollar symbol. Dollar symbol indicates you are the guest. But for deploying the application, we need to convert as an administrator. So for that purpose, what is the command here? We need to type sudo -i. This is the command we need to use to convert user to the administrator. Now sudo -i. Now it's a configure dollar symbol. Dollar symbol in this is you are the administrator. You can able to deploy your application. Now here, what we are going to deploy here? Here we are going to deploy Django project. That's the reason. First of all, we need to install the Python software. In your virtual machine, we need to install Python software first. To install the Python software, sudo yum install Python. Here we need to mention version also. Here we need to install Python, and at the same time, here along with the Python 3, we need to install pip. Why? Because here pip is not available. Here pip is not available. That is the reason we need to install pip also. In your system, when you install the Python, pip also automatically install. But here pip is not available. We need to install Python software in your system, virtual machine. Install Python software. It's showing it's already available. Next one, we need to install the pip also. Now copy. Okay. Now we installed pip also. Now next one, we need to download project from GitHub, right? That is the reason we need to install Git also. We need to install Git also virtual machine. Here, sudo install Git. Now install the Git. Copy paste here. It installing the Git software also. Now check the version. Right. It also installed successfully, right? Now we need to configure our account, GitHub account, right? Similarly, first what we followed here, these are the steps we need to use. These two steps we need to use here also. Now, after installing the Git, here we can mention these two. We need to configure our GitHub account into virtual machine also. Now, next one, this is the third one. We need to mention here. Now, here your virtual machine configured with your GitHub account. Now, your GitHub account having the project. Go to the GitHub account. Where is my repository? This is my repository. Travel management. Okay. You can find the link. This is the link I will use to download my project. To download the project, what is the command here? We need to use git clone that GitHub URL, right? So now this is the command I am going to use. Download your project. Here. type a command git clone project URL. It will download it that project into my local system, right? If you want to check it successfully downloaded or not, what is the command? ls is command to check the your portal. Now ls, now see here my travel management is available, downloaded. Now here we need to redirect to run the project. What is the command here? cd travel cd travel management. Now here travel management. Now our project is ready to run. First of all, whatever project you downloaded from the internet, if you want to run that project, first of all, what we need to do? We need to do minimum steps. What are the minimum steps we need to do? First of all, we need to install Django. Pip install Django. We need to install Django for to run the project, and we need to install PostgreSQL. It will available in the form of binary. And after that, we need to install these two. We need to install Django to run our project. So now Django is installing. At the same time, we need to install PostgreSQL. Install PostgreSQL. Okay, spelling mistake. This installs PostgreSQL. Now it is also installing. Now finally, my project having the database connection, right? To implement the data, to migrate the database connection, what we need to use? Python. In a Linux server, we need to mention the Python version also, Python 3, manage.py, make migrations, and similarly, Python 3, manage.py, migrate. These two commands we need to use. Now take this make migrations. My project having some image files. That's the reason it's asking install Pillow also. First of all, before make migrations, so I will copy the Pillow library. Here we need to mention Python version also. So it's giving the error. Python 3. Now it installing this Pillow also. Now make migrations. Now migrate your project. Now successfully database updated. If you want to check here, now here come here, refresh. Go to the travel database. Now under the schema, we can check the tables. Now tables updated, right? All the tables updated here. Now here, now run your project. While running the project here, one more thing we should remember. In our system, Python 3 manage.py run server. So this is the command we will use in our local system. But when you are using the virtual server, it should be run on the IP address. That is the reason we need to mention 0.0.0.0:8000 port. So here it should be run on any IP address along with the port number. So here you should run your project Python manage.py run server. Public IP means 0.0.0 is the public IP. At the same time, 8000 port number, whatever we mentioned while creating the EC2 instance. Now enter. Now see here, our project successfully run. Now, if you want to see the output, go to the instance and open your instance IP address or DNS. Click on open address. First of all, we don't have any certificate. That is the reason we should remove the S here. Now HTTPS delete yes. At the same time, this project is running on the port number 8000. We need to mention the port here. Now see here, my project deployed successfully in a EC2 instance. So these are the steps we should follow to deploy our application in our AWS cloud. So first of all, last command. When you observe the last command, what is the last command here? This is the port number. This is a very, very important step to deploy your project, to deploy your whatever if you want. After deploying, if you want to run your project, it should be run on the local port. So here, that is the reason we updated allowed host here. So if you are not updated allowed host, it won't work. So here we mentioned allowed host is star, I mean any domain. Now at the same time here we are running server, we are running application on the public domain. So that is the reason it will work. If you want to see the output in through the AWS EC2 instance IP address, we should run your application on the public port number. Otherwise, it won't work. So this is the way we will deploy application. My application is running successfully. So here there is my output. Here is my output. Now let's check my register page is work. Database connection is working or not. Now when I enter the details, so account created successfully, and that means my database is working properly. Now that this is when you're deploying your project, so you should update your database also into the cloud. So all of you go through this tutorial and follow the steps and deploy your application into the AWS cloud. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so much. అయిపోయింది సార్ ఒక్క నిమిషం క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నా